You've maybe got 51 days left to actually allocate yourself to your favorite crypto coins before. Well, it's just too gosh darn late, isn't it? And I've got data, I've got charts to back that statement up with. So stick around. We're going to be diving deep into this topic. And when I say, you're running out of time to buy coins, look, there's always going to be stuff to buy. There's always going to be a new listing, a new trade, a new meme coin coming out, okay? But what we're talking about here is the vast majority of your opportunities to buy at semi-reasonable prices before we hit the real major markup phase of this market is running out. And I know what you're thinking, I feel like I've heard this video 10 times before. Well, we haven't had a breakout like this for Bitcoin or the wider cryptocurrency market before in this cycle. So you should be paying attention and breaking that bear market PTSD, because the time will come when it's just too late to buy anymore. Because remember, every time the price of your crypto asset goes up by $1, the reward diminishes if you're buying at that level and the risk increases, okay? Buy low, sell high, not the other way around. The vast majority of the market will do it the other way around, though, which is something you can't really stop, but it is the way it is. It is what it is, guys. So, look, I want to go down for a history lesson here, and that perhaps can inform us of where we're going forward, okay? So, look, this is the 2020 chart. Mid-December 2020, we had the breakout. We broke past the previous all-time high around $20,000. The price pumped about 20% in a week, which is basically what we just did right now, by the way, in case you haven't been paying attention. Then within about 4 weeks, the price of Bitcoin in total had pumped by a little over 100%. Okay, 4 weeks, 100% move. Now, maybe it takes a little bit longer this time. We are dealing with bigger numbers, right? We're a $1 trillion plus asset class. Sure, but also BlackRock's buying $1 billion a day, so maybe that cancels itself out, right? But here's the thing. Had you bought at $42,000 or something like that here in the start of January, your risk reward at that point was pretty shit, to be honest, because your maximum upside from there, as we now have proof in the market, was only about a little over 50% more. So you were risking a lot to get another 50% of gains in the next few months, which it did end up happening. And there was a big pullback where you could have, in theory, got a 100% move again out of the market if you'd bought the perfect bottom of the pullback, sold the perfect bottom of the next, or perfect top of the next pump, sure. But not many people did that, okay? Still, though, it's not to say there was an opportunity, but the opportunity was drastically and rapidly diminishing at this point, okay? So where are we now with that? Perhaps you're looking at 4 to 6 weeks, somewhere around the end of the year, where you're probably not going to really want to be buying all that much anymore. Look, if we were to say a similar situation was going to play out, it's actually very interesting, because we have our breakout going on here. If we were to go 4 weeks and about 100%, well, that brings us up to about $150,000, which is actually, since we mentioned it, we should probably bring that up, is where the 1.618 is at 100K, and the 2.618 Fibonacci line is right here around the 150K zone. So that would actually be a very logical stopping point for the rally. Could be 100K at the 1.618 Fibonacci line, but the 2.618 Fibonacci line also pretty rational in my mind. And of course, if you end up buying Bitcoin at $150,000, well, that would be like buying it at 42K back in the day. For this cycle, now long-term, who cares, okay? We're not talking about long-term. We're talking about for this cycle. We're talking about trying to use Bitcoin as our North Star, as our signpost for where we are in the cycle, what's going on, how's the market going to move forward, okay? So if you buy Bitcoin at 150K, I think we're only probably going to go up a little bit over 200K this cycle. That, of course, lines up with the 3.618 Fibonacci line, as you can see right about here, right? That would only be about a 50% pump above that 100% mark if we had a similar rhyming situation play out, which of course that's not exactly how markets work, although it's been working pretty gosh darn well so far, hasn't it? Holy cow. I cannot believe we had the major breakout past previous highs literally 6 months post Bitcoin halving, just like it happened last cycle. That's crazy, man. Anyway, that's what's happening, which is pretty gosh darn nuts if you ask me. So will we see a similar situation play out? If we do, and of course, no one's got a crystal ball. Certainly not me, okay? I'm right sometimes in the markets, but wrong in the markets all the time too. So take it all with a grain of salt. I cannot predict the future. We just have our models. We have our ideas and our theses, and that's what we work on, okay? So if we do get that, let's say we extend it out to right to the end of the year, okay? There we go. Bitcoin gets to 150K by the end of the year. So maybe it's going to take 8 weeks this time. So we're dealing with much bigger numbers, okay? Buying Bitcoin at 150K is not a great risk reward opportunity unless you truly have convinced yourself that we're going to go to $500,000 or $1 million this cycle, which we're probably not going to do. In spite of all the bullish stuff going on, we're probably not going to go that high that fast. I would love to see it. I really would. I'm going to be holding my Bitcoin multi-cycle anyway, so if it happens, fantastic. But a lot of people will probably get caught with their pants down buying high, hoping that it's going to go so much higher, but only to get 30, 40, 50% gains, right? The big money, buying now, still not a bad risk reward. But in a few weeks, if we keep going the way that we have in previous cycles, that risk reward is not going to be looking so pretty, to be honest. Great cartoon here. Understand past performance is no guarantee of future results, but I'm a little confused by your winking and air quotes. Hey guys, if you're a cryptocurrency trader, super hot deal going on right now. Check out BitUnix. They've got a crazy deposit bonus going on. You can deposit $200, you get 150 USDT back. That is right. That's a serious deal they got going on right now. And most importantly, BitUnix allows you to trade with no KYC. No KYC. So if you'd like to ensure your privacy while trading, you might want to check out what BitUnix has to offer and claim that $150 free gosh darn bonus. Check it out. Link down below in the description. This is a limited time offer, by the way. It's only valid for like another 10 days or something. So hop on it. Go take advantage of it. Check it out. Thank you very much for using that link. So if Bitcoin does that, what's that mean for our altcoin bags? Well, last cycle, this is very interesting. Last cycle, ETH lagged by about a month. So you can see here where Bitcoin last cycle was breaking out in December, right? Look here. So it's December 14th. We had a big breakout for Bitcoin past previous all-time highs. Ethereum was lagging big time. Ethereum didn't pass previous all-time highs until the end of January or the start of February. 6 weeks later, actually, a little more than a month, which is very interesting. So that means if Bitcoin can go to 150K in 4 weeks or 8 weeks or whenever that happens, you should be looking for Ethereum to make new highs about 4 to 6 weeks afterwards. Okay? So Bitcoin will move first, then altcoins are going to move. Now, what's interesting is that the vast majority of the altcoin market basically hit at the same time. So when ETH was moving, everything else moved in unison. Okay? What's also interesting, if we go back here, zoom in on this chart a little bit, where is December 14th? Look at that. On December 14th, when Bitcoin was hitting new all-time highs, Ethereum was $619, which is well below the previous all-time high of about $1,400. In fact, more than 50% below the previous all-time high. ETH was dead. Nobody wanted to hear anything about it. It was all Bitcoin show, and only Bitcoin was going to perform this cycle. Everything else was bullshit. Sound familiar? Well, in 6 weeks' time, ETH rallied super hard, which is kind of where we are right now, I think, on this market cycle with Ethereum, where it's still lagging quite a bit behind Bitcoin, which is rallying to new highs. Ethereum is still 40% or something like that under its previous all-time highs. But when it catches up fast. And we can see here that from the time that we crossed into new high territory on the 1st of February, we were able to then rally up to $4,400 approximately by the 10th of May. This right here, this short period was the major altcoin season where the vast majority of money was made in the market cycle, okay? Understand that. The time for selling is relatively short. Buying up until this line was profitable. Selling after that line was profitable. People buying here, $4,000, $3,000 ETH, they've been holding for a long time or they sold at a massive loss in the bear market. Okay? So, now where are we right now? You can see, of course, we are still well below previous highs. Well below previous highs, which means that if Ethereum lags 6 weeks behind again this cycle, that there's still a lot of potential upside left for Ethereum. Even just to get back to previous highs requires a 50% move, okay? And if you believe that Ethereum can go to $10,000 this cycle, that's 230% left in the tank, or if you believe we can even go up to as high as $15,000 to $16,000, a 300 to 400% move left here for Ethereum this cycle, which does not sound all that crazy when you consider that these are the kind of percentage gains we've seen in previous cycles after all-time high breaks for ETH, okay? Now, talk about the total three. This is the total market cap of all crypto coins, excluding Bitcoin and excluding Ethereum. So, last cycle, from the time that Bitcoin broke out until these actually reached a market cycle peak, the entire market cap of all crypto coins, excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum, went up 770%. From the time that it broke previous peaks, it went up another 200%. So right now, we are in this zone of opportunity right down in here, okay? This is where we are right now, equivalent-wise. Have a look and see for yourself, right? We're still well below those previous highs, although if you zoom in right here, we're actually looking at a beautiful breakout. That's the weekly chart right there, all the way back to earlier this year for the total crypto three, the total three. Downtrending for ages, broke out back here in September, languished sideways. Now we've seen a big break up, a move over $750 billion market cap. It's probably going to send us soaring up to new highs for this in particular. Now we have a lot of juice left in the tank from here to there. In order for us to get back to previous highs requires a 50% move, okay? So a big move still to get back to just those previous highs. And if you, like me, believe that we are going to go to potentially $10 trillion this market cycle at the peak top, and even if we go to only 6 or something like that, we're still going to see a massive markup for altcoins, potentially going up to a $2 trillion or even $3 trillion market cap, which means that a lot of those low cap altcoins are going to see significant mid cap altcoins, even the big cap stuff, okay? Your AVAX bags and things like this are going to see new highs and massive markups in price. Just remember, okay? Do not be the guy who buys high and sells low, because everything I've just laid out says one thing very, very clearly. The time to position yourself is running out very quickly, okay? You're not buying low anymore, okay? Those chances were in 2023, okay? Lots of chances to buy much lower in 2024. A lot of people miss that. Now you're on the sidelines, or you're scrambling to get back in. You're only paying attention now. If you're just coming into the markets, welcome, obviously. But if you wait too long, you're just going to be buying high, and then you will sell low, okay? Remember the risk reward. Okay, the opportunity cost of buying higher might feel good because everyone's winning and everything's going okay in the market and we're all geniuses and everybody's getting rich. No, you're just buying high and you're probably going to end up selling low. And of course, to everybody who did buy low, I'm not saying this about your Bitcoin, okay? Bitcoin's a different asset. For all your altcoins, okay, you got to remember, you need to take some profits at some gosh darn point, okay? Because if you never take any profits, none of it ever becomes real, man. And you'll watch it all go back down to zero, which is the story of a lot of people, okay? You don't want to be that guy. You want to be the guy who changes your life, who comes in, makes huge money, and actually cashes something out, okay? Thanks for watching.